All right, let's get right into it. If your Windows 11 computer feels like it's crawling through molasses, you have definitely come to the right place. We're going to walk through how to reclaim your PC's speed and get it back to feeling brand new.
So does that little spinning circle feel like a permanent part of your desktop? You know that awful pause before an app opens, or that little stutter when you're just trying to get some work done? Yeah, it's super frustrating. But the good news is, it's almost always fixable.
And that is exactly what we're here to do. The goal is super simple. Give you some clear, easy-to-follow steps that will make your whole system feel snappy and responsive again.
So, what's really going on here? Why is your PC so slow? Well, usually it boils down to a few usual suspects. We're talking about all those programs that decide to launch themselves at startup, apps chugging along silently in the background, and even those pretty visual effects that, yeah, they look cool, but they chew up a ton of your computer's resources. Okay, let's start with some quick wins. Seriously, this first round of fixes is all about simple, low-risk tweaks you can do in like 5 minutes, and you'll feel an immediate difference. And I promise you don't need to be a tech genius to do any of this.
First up, let's tackle startup bloat. This one's a biggie. Just press Control, Shift, and Escape at the same time, and that'll pop open your task manager. Then, click on the Startup Apps tab. You're going to see a list of every single program that starts running the second your computer boots up. If you see something you don't need right away, like Spotify or a game launcher, just right-click it and hit Disable. This alone can make your startup time way, way faster.
Next, let's deal with visual effects. You know all those slick little animations and fading windows? They look nice, but they cost you in performance. Let's trade them for pure speed. Press the Windows key and the R key, then type in sysdm.cpl and hit Enter. From there, head over to the Advanced tab and click on Performance Settings. This is where you make a pretty important choice. So here's the deal. It's a straight-up trade-off. You can have all the bells and whistles, the animations, the shadows, the transparency, or you can have raw performance. By choosing Adjust for Best Performance, you're basically telling Windows, hey, stop trying to look pretty and just be fast. It might look a little more basic, but trust me, your system will feel so much snappier. And for our last quick win, let's make sure your computer isn't holding back. Open up your settings, go to System, then find Power and Battery. Look for a setting called Power Mode and switch that thing over to Best Performance. This just gives your processor the green light to use all the power it needs to get things done quickly. It's especially useful for laptops when they're plugged in. All right, we've tweaked the main settings. Now it's time for a little digital spring cleaning. In this section, we're going to hunt down and get rid of all the unnecessary software and junk files that are just taking up space and slowing everything down. You know, Windows has this awesome built-in tool called Storage Sense. To turn it on, go to Settings, then System, and click on Storage. Just flip the switch for Storage Sense to On. Think of it like a little Roomba for your hard drive. It automatically cleans up temporary files and other junk you don't need. You can even tell it how often to run. Just set it and forget it. Okay, now for the stuff you actually installed yourself. Head over to Settings, click on Apps, and then Installed Apps. Now, just scroll through this list. I guarantee you're going to find programs you downloaded ages ago and totally forgot about. Be ruthless here. If you don't use it, click the 3 little dots next to it and hit Uninstall. Fewer programs means more power for the stuff you actually care about. If you want to do an even deeper clean, press the Windows key and R again, and this time type %temp% and press Enter. This folder is just a dumping ground for temporary files that apps leave behind. You can just select everything with Ctrl+A and hit the Delete key. Don't worry, it's totally safe to get rid of all this stuff. Okay, we have officially covered all the basics. So, if you're feeling a little adventurous and you want to squeeze every last drop of performance out of your machine, this next section is for you. We're diving into some pro tools and more advanced tweaks. But first, a really, really important warning. Before you even think about touching any of these advanced tools, please create a system restore point. It's like a safety net. If anything goes sideways, you can just roll your system back to the way it was before. Seriously, do not skip this step. It is absolutely crucial for what's coming next. Okay, with that out of the way, let's look at some fantastic free tools. For beginners, WinHands is a great, safe way to de-bloat Windows. That just means getting rid of pre-installed apps you don't want. If you're a bit more tech-savvy, the Cristitis Tech utility is an incredibly powerful tool. For anyone focused on privacy, O&O Shutup 10++ is amazing for turning off all the data Windows sends back to Microsoft.
And for the ultimate control over what starts with your PC, power users need to check out AutoRuns. It's actually made by Microsoft.
Beyond just one-time tweaks, good maintenance is key. Tools like the free version of CCleaner or the open-source program BleachBit are awesome for just clearing out digital junk on a regular basis. And if you're comfortable with it, a registry cleaner can sometimes help. The registry is basically a giant database for Windows settings. But again, remember our warning, always back up first.
And here are just a few last expert-level tweaks. If you never use Windows widgets or Copilot, you can disable them. Turn off those transparency effects we talked about. If you're a gamer, turning on hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling can give you a nice little boost. But honestly, the single biggest upgrade you can make for speed is making sure Windows is installed on a solid-state drive, an SSD. It is a true night and day difference.
Whew, okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's just pull it all together into a final performance checklist and quickly recap everything we just went over.
So to sum it all up, tidy up your startup apps using the Task Manager. Switch your visual effects to prioritize performance. Use StorageSense and clear out those temp files to free up space. Get rid of bloatware by uninstalling programs you don't actually use. And finally, if you're up for it, use some trusted tools for an even deeper clean. If you follow these steps, you will see a real, tangible difference in your PC speed.
So there you have it. A faster, snappier, more responsive Windows 11 experience is totally within your grasp. And that brings us to our last question. Now that you've optimized your computer and saved all that time you used to spend just waiting, what are you going to do with it?